Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna. For those of you who are new here, welcome. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. In today's video, I'll be talking about what is in my creative bag for May 2021. And if that is of interest to you, please stay tuned. Okay, so this will be broken into two parts. The first part will be the creative journals that I'd like to work on in May, and then the last part will be the coloring books that I'd like to work in May. This is absolutely a riff on a video or concept started by, I think it's Coloring with Sammy. I'll research it and I'll link it in the description box below, where she does every month the books that she'd like to work in by way of her coloring books, and then that just helps whittle it down so that you're just not overwhelmed with all your choices. And because I like to be a little bit more intentional, that is my word of the month, I thought I would do this video just to put it out in the universe, and then also just sort of whittle away and think about the items that I have. So like I said, I will be starting with the journals, and I'll just kind of pile these to the side. I would like to continue to work in this. This is the journal that I am doing, Marguerite Miller's weekly collage. I actually have fallen a week behind, but I think I can work on that today. But this is just a weekly collage book that I'm working in, and I'd like to just be a little bit more intentional with this so that I am doing it on a weekly basis. It can get a little overwhelming because I did start it late, so I'm already a few weeks behind, and then I don't want to fall behind even further. I found the week corresponding to the actual week online, but for whatever reason, I think I'm late because I already see people putting up for week 18. I mean, whether I film or not is really the question, but I'm just going to follow what I already have listed here. But this is definitely something I want to do during the month of May. Now, this one I want to show you because this actually works in tandem with, I think, all of the three that I have to the side here. This is a minimalist art A5 journal that I have gotten from Amazon. If they're available, I will link them below. And this is my junk drawer journal. And this concept was inspired by, I think her name is Tori of Creative Minds Coffee Grinds. And this is sort of like what you would think a junk drawer is. It really just holds a whole bunch of things that are kind of random and not in any kind of order. I have put washi on the sides here, so for any washi that is brown, that is my idea for my bullet journal, which I don't have here because that's definitely something I'll be working on in the next week or so. But it just helps me find it really easily. And then any kind of ideas pages, I do this highlight in the green, and it just helps me. And then the rest of this sort of tracks some things that I keep in those other journals. So if I read a book, if I watch a TV series or a movie, this is where I want to test out the cover art, and I'll show you why in just a minute. But more importantly, this is a quick way that I can write down when I watch something, and I usually do the rating at the time I write this down. Now, what I still need to do is go back and do research on the actors, my thoughts, things like that. But so long as I have this information, I can see Dairy Girls and I can tell you exactly what I'm thinking about that, and it's easy enough to write down. It's just I need to find the time for that. And so again, concepts for some artwork that I want to do, and just keeping track of the things that I'm reading. So there's a lot of things I still need to do. So this is definitely one of the things I want to get into for the month of May, at least just to catch up with my thoughts and whatnot, and work on the cover art. And I think during my vacation days, I'll work on this to see, because I have some ideas what I want to do for my May bullet journal. And so this is where I'm going to warehouse that information. And yeah. I also watched Mortal Kombat. I watched that last week. So I'll need to put that in here before I forget. But yeah, this is my junk drawer journal, and I want to do the concept art for May so I can move into my actual bullet journal ideas journal, and then also catch up on some of the journaling here on my thoughts about these various things. Now this is my Primrosia journal. I'm sorry if there's a glare. This is from Amazon. This is very reminiscent of a Archer and Olive by way of price, because I think it's like $32, as well as it's got that linen cover. I don't know if you can see it, but it does have the artwork. It does come in 4 colors, at least the last time I looked at it. And this is specifically made for watercolors. Now this name here was something that my friend Christy made. I'll link her shop below, but this is how these 2 books are in tandem. And so this is my TV, book, and movie journal, but I'm doing it in a very specific style. So I watched the Bridgerton series a few months ago now, I think in the beginning of the year, and I was inspired by Lady Whistledown in her society review papers, and so for this one, that's how I'm attacking this journal. So this was my Lady Hannah Downs society review of Roald Dahl's The Witches. I had seen the movie on HBO Max, I believe. I give it a rating, I do a little synopsis. I'll link those videos. They are super extra, but I enjoy it, and I enjoy the process of creating in here. And then same with this one. This was my artwork for Bridgerton, and then my synopsis of this and my rating. And I haven't done anything else in here because it is quite a time-consuming project, but that's why I have this. So it gives me ideas of the concept art that I want to do. I will choose something in here because it doesn't need to go in order in here. Of what I want to write the synopsis of, because I don't want it to be a spoiler if someone hasn't watched it. And then it also gives me the times and my rating on it. And so I use these 2 books in tandem. Now I want to work in this a twofold because I really like it. It takes a while. Plus, I've got some new watercolor pencils that I want to test in here. And then I also want to do a video on both the watercolor pencils as well as the watercolors, because one of you guys have asked. I didn't look before I started filming, but thank you. It's been on my radar. It's just I haven't been back into this. But yeah, I definitely want to work on this in May. And this was done with color pencils. Color pencils work a treat on this paper. But yeah, I definitely would like to work in this. This is my Maisie Lane Co. Journal A5. This one and this one are both 160 GSM, so they are in line with the Archer and Olive paper if you're familiar with it. This one, unlike the one I just showed you, is a bright white, and this is my collection journal. Now, I have not been back in this, so really this is just to update some of my collections. And what this is I'm tracking the books I've read. I have actually a place for the movies I've watched. This isn't easy enough to fill in because I have this. And then I certainly can add, and I actually have 30 plus books now, so I will need to put this into another place, which is fine. This is what this journal is for. And so it's really just about updating things in here. I might rename these and put the coloring books here. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. I had great intentions with this, but I don't know if I really like it anymore. But yeah, this is really just to update the information, and then if need be, add some more collections, because this is just a warehouse of all the things, and I don't want to fall too far behind. Because I have that information in other places, I don't get too concerned that I have fallen behind, because I know where to look to find it. So I definitely would like to work in this one here. And then the last creative journal I'd like to work in, or continue to work in, is this one here. This is my Archer and Olive Neapolitan journal. I would actually like to see if I can find a Skillshare video. In fact, I know there are some, I just haven't watched any, on doing perspective drawing. This is based on a video that I saw on YouTube, but I want to see if I can get a little bit more information from Skillshare. But then this is where I'm doing my illustrated journal. And the way that I do it, if you haven't seen that video, is I started here and then I go to the black section because I wanted to work in all 3 sections. And then I go to the white section because I wanted to go to that section. And then, so this was the 3rd week of March, and then I go back to here. It doesn't make any sense chronologically, but I just like to be able to work in all of the different sections. And so that's what I've been doing. And because I have my daily journal, which is this right here, I can refer to the highlight reel. I can see what happened within that week, and then for the week I can go ahead and choose things I want to focus on, and then just practice some doodling and some artwork and some lettering. And I really like the concept of this. And this is one of those things, you know, if I do, you know, an entire month, 2 months later, I mean, it's waiting for me. All of my creative projects are waiting for me, but I do want to give it a little bit more intention than I have been. And so those are the journals that I want to work on. The bullet journal one that I mentioned is this one right here. This is a Buke notebook. This is also 160 GSM. I don't do a bullet journal because I don't need a bullet journal, but I do like doing ideas for bullet journals. And so I think during my vacation, as I mentioned, I will just be doing my May bullet journal ideas in here. And so again, I will use this in tandem with this journal here. But this one I definitely will get done because I think I want it up that weekend. But otherwise, these other ones, because I don't know that I'll be filming a video, I wanted to just put out in the universe that I wanted to work in them, if that makes any sense. All right, so for coloring books, I do have a Buddy 2-page spread. It's in the works right now, so I'm not going to show you guys yet, but I do want to work in this Romantic Country, the 3rd tale. I also want to at least start something here in Erie's tracing book. I'm pretty sure it has a name, but because it's in Japanese, I'm not sure what it's called. But I definitely want to work on this and actually still have this whip right here, and so I'll probably want to, if not finish it, at least get to some of it in the month of May. So those are the Erie books that I'd like to work on in the month of May. I do have 2 buddy colors in Mythographic Odyssey with Poet Spice, Biblio Splice. Again, I need to find out her name. But so I'll be doing at least 2 in here. These I find to be quick colors, so I might be doing more, although I am expecting 2 more. And so I might be in those. I do have a buddy color in here in Luna, so I'll definitely doing at least 1 page in here. And then I've already started a page in this one. This is Opal's Moments Wholly for Yourself. This is part of the Forest Girl collection. And so I'd like to finish one of these as well. Yeah, I think I can finish all of these here. These 3 right here, Mythographic Frozen Fantasies, the Million Unicorns from Luly Mayo. Oh, sorry. The Frozen Fantasies is from Fabiano Atanasio. And then I think I'm going to take this one here as well, George Tufex's Spectacular Spring Scenes from Creative Haven. These are actually going to go to work. And so during my lunch break, or if I'm early, I can color before work, then I can get into these. And so I will be working on these. Whether I finish any of them, I'm not sure. But this is something I can do during the day when I'm at work. So I want to include them in the pile, but the other ones really are what I do on the nights and weekends. This is something a little different for me. And then to round out, I've started something here in A Million Cute Animals, and so I'd like to have that completed for May. These 2 I find are kind of quick coloring, so I can do a page or 2 in Tortured Tales by Heidi Hornsby and Wondrous Women by Sassy Coloring. Both of these ladies have YouTube channels and are independent artists, and so I definitely recommend if you can support them, definitely check out their channels as well as pick up their coloring books. I do have a few more coloring books coming on the way, so while I can work on anything that I have, and I think I have 32, these are the ones that I'm definitely going to focus on, specifically the buddy colors. Those take the first priority, and then whatever else I feel like doing, then I'll get into those as well. And between those coloring books, coloring during lunch, and then working on my journals, I think I'm pretty set for the month of May. Again, I'm not going to set goals that I have to have this done and this done and this done. The only thing that would make that list would be my buddy colors. I would like to have them done by the end of May, just so that I can show my work to my buddies and then also post it in my completed pages. These more than likely will get something done. This is a rather quick color too, but if I can get to any of my other ones or start anything new in the new ones I'm anticipating, then great. But again, and I've said this a million times, but this hobby or these hobbies of mine are to help me reduce some of my anxiety and my stress. I more often than not feel anxious. And so this helps me just focus on something that I have absolute control of. Whether I like the results or not, that's neither here nor there, but at least I can pick colors or pick journals or pick things that make me happy to work in, and then that just helps alleviate some of that stress for me. So I'm not going to put that I want to do this many of pages. That's actually not important to me, but I do want to be a little bit more intentional, so I'm not focusing on just one hobby, although I guess ultimately it's just whatever makes me happy. But it does make me happy to work in the journals. It does make me happy to do collaging. It does help me make me happy to do the daily journaling. So it's just really trying to be more purposeful with my time. All right, guys, well, that's it for this video. If you're interested, I would definitely recommend you do something similar. Whether you've got, various creative hobbies like me, you've got coloring books, if you've got video games, definitely let me know if you're going to do a video similar like this to just see what are your intentions of working on for this month. I'd actually love to know. All right, well, that's it for me for now, guys. And as always, aloha.